It's a very special show today. I'm really excited for a lot of reasons. I can't wait to have you with us. So I got some special announcements, all right? I have really one key special announcement. We're going to talk about it, but I got to tell you, I'm also ridiculously excited about the fruit I'm showing you today. All right? This is Mamey Sapote. Get a close-up on the Mamey Sapote. A lot of you have probably never heard of Mamey Sapote. You've probably never eaten Mamey Sapote. We're going to talk about it, okay? But before we get, guys, this is so important. I'm bringing the mic up here. Before we get into that, okay? We got a special announcement. Very special announcement. I'm going to talk about it throughout this entire show because I have been wanting to talk about this for many weeks. I've been on this show week after week, talking to you guys, meeting with you guys, answering questions, and I've been wanting to tell you, but I couldn't tell you until today. Okay? Today's the day. All right? So we're going to have fun. Guys, I'm going to tell you. All right? Here we go. Here's the deal. We love to help you guys transform your life. Okay? We at Mastering Diabetes, people come to us. You want to lower your A1C. You want to lower your fasting blood glucose. You want to lose weight. You want to increase your time in range. You want to gain more energy. You want to feel amazing. Like, we do this all the time. It's our pride and joy. Like, we just love helping you, holding your hand, being with you throughout the process. Okay. All right. So here's a special announcement. We have our most amazing program available to all of you guys. Okay. You can join our 6-week challenge. You have to write the comment ready. Write the comment ready. Okay. The 6-week challenge is your opportunity to work with a coach. Okay, to actually have a face-to-face conversation on Zoom with one of our team members, our incredible team members, who they're going to be joining this show over the next, several weeks here. So don't miss that. To finally have a coach to answer your questions, okay? To actually get a meal plan specifically designed to get you out of a state of insulin resistance or to optimize your insulin sensitivity. Very well thought out, week by week over the course of 6 weeks. A shopping list, meal plan, all 6 weeks during the challenge. Okay, we have a high level of accountability. We're gonna hold you accountable to the results that you want to achieve. It's gonna be amazing. Okay, you're gonna have you got nutrition, you got high level accountability. You're gonna be with a community of people doing the same thing as you. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, to actually connect with others who are doing this and navigating the world, guys. I'm so stoked on the 6-week challenge. I can't even. Okay, so we got nutrition, we have accountability. We're also gonna help you with the fitness. We're gonna help you moving your body. Okay, so we're gonna provide you with exercise videos. With our team. It's incredible. The whole thing is absolutely incredible. Type ready below, and our team is going to follow up and get you the opportunity to be a part of our 6-week challenge, okay? It's called the Mastering Diabetes 6-week Blood Sugar Transformation Challenge. It's incredible. The results that we have seen come in are just bonkers already. So again, I was super excited to tell you guys. I had to keep it on the lowdown for a little bit, but now we're ready to go. We're ready for you. We're ready to change your life. We want you to join the challenge. Okay, so you have to type ready. You have to type ready to get your personal invitation to the 6-week challenge. Now, if you're part of our group already, you're part of our family, you're in the coaching program, you already know about this challenge. You're already getting amazing results. Okay, you're already enjoying some Mamey Sapote. You've probably learned about that from your coach. All right, so this is amazing. We are super stoked about it. If you want to get involved, spots will fill up. There's no question about that. There's only so many coaches and so much availability. So spots will fill up if you are ready for a 6-week challenge. You're ready to do this. If you're ready to go, now's the time. Type in ready, and we're going to reach out to you. Okay? So that's what we got going on. I'll answer questions about this during the show. I'll answer questions at the end. But now let's move on to the other reason I am super excited today is we're talking about Mamey Sapote. Okay? This is one of nature's finest gifts, Mamey Sapote. And I'm also very excited because they seem to ripen properly. All right. They seem to be ready to go. So we're going to cut open some of these. I'm going to talk to you about the pitfalls of Mamey Sapote. All right. So sometimes there's some issues when it comes to basically getting Mamey to ripen properly. So you got to know how to take care of that. So I'm going to put the mic down so I can actually pick one of these up. And we're going to have some fun here, okay? So, Mamey Sapote, it's a tropical fruit. The only place it grows in the United States is South Florida, okay? It's a wonderful fruit. Now, it's one of the most calorie-dense fruits on the planet. And let me show you how soft this is here, all right? So you see here, it's got some give, right? But here's the most important part about Mamey Sapote. You see how it has a flat bottom? Let me see if you can get a good angle on this. Let's see how it rests. It has a flat bottom, okay? See if I can like hold that up. Flat bottom, okay? That's when you know your Mamey is right, okay? This is the Key West variety, and it's incredible. So I'm gonna cut this one off. I think this one's gonna be good. All right, so it's soft. You don't want it to be too soft, right? So we're just gonna cut it in half right here, all right? Boom, just go like this. Oh, I have a good feeling about this Mamey, guys. I have a good feeling. When you cut up on a perfect Mamey, it's life-changing. Look at the color on that. I mean, that is spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. Mamey Sapote, one of the most calorie-dense foods on the planet. I mean, this is good, okay? Let me talk to you about calorie density for a moment, all right? So when people first transition to a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet, oftentimes, they don't eat enough calories, okay? Because you start eating a lot of salads, you start eating a lot of vegetables, you even start eating more fruits, you even start eating more potatoes, and you eat rice. But the calorie density of these foods compared to what you were eating before is so much lower that you have to actually eat a larger volume. You have to eat a larger volume of produce, of food, in order to even get to a similar amount of calories, okay? To get to the calories you need, right? So you probably do need to eat, if you want to lose weight, a little bit less than what you were eating before, right? But because people, they focus on salads right away, which is great. You gotta have greens, you gotta have non-starchy vegetables. That's huge. So when I have Mamey Sapote, I actually eat it with, I like to eat it with some arugula. It's actually my favorite thing to have with Mamey Sapote. All right. So in this case, I'm gonna see if I can share my screen. Let me see if I can share my screen with you guys. In the meantime, let's just look at this Mamey. I mean, that is spectacular. Just unbelievable. Okay, so we're going to go to Mastering Diabetes High Carb Food. You guys can Google this. Okay. But guys, if you're ready for the 6-week challenge, you have to write ready in the chat box. That's what you got to do. Okay? So if you're ready, type in ready. All right? So let's talk about this. I'm going to see if I can share my screen here on this software. Should be no problem. And then we're going to answer a bunch of questions. All right, share. Share screen. Okay. How about a Chrome tab? Boom. Share. Okay. So this is a post where we list fruits in order of calorie density, okay? So egg fruit is actually a fruit that's not listed here, that's actually higher in calorie density, but has 563 calories per pound, all right? Plantain's number 2 here, persimmon's number 3. So basically per bite, this is gonna have a similar amount of calories as something like a potato, actually more than a russet potato, similar to a yam, okay? So most fruits are much lower than that. You see how we have watermelon at 136. We have papayas here at 195, okay? Horned melon, 200, right here, okay? So here you have apricots, 218 calories per pound. So these are all green light foods. These are foods you can eat to reverse insulin resistance, okay? So if you're ready to do that, we're ready to support you. But I just wanted to make the point here that if you look at fruits here, the calorie density is a lot. So basically this fruit is going to fill you up. It's also going to have a lot of glucose, and it's going to be enjoyable because it's also low in fat, okay? Mamey Sapote is naturally low in fat. It's high in vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, phytochemicals, okay? Very nutrient-dense food, all right? So let's see. If you've had Mamey Sapote before, put an M in the chat box. I want to know if you've had Mamey Sapote. Put an M in the chat box. But I wish you could smell it. Oh my gosh, this is like one of the most perfect Mameys I've ever cut open, and I did it right here on the show today. So you could make recipes with Mamey Sapote. People put it in a smoothie sometimes. People make pies with Mamey. But really the best way is to just start spooning it out. You just start spooning it. You don't eat the skin, right? But you can eat very close to the skin, okay? That's how you do it with Mamey, all right? Okay, so Micah's had it. Sherry has had it. I love it, I love it. Okay, let's see what questions have come in. I'm a type 2 diabetic, and when I test after potatoes and rice, it's a major spike. Any suggestions? Okay, Debbie, I don't know if you already wrote ready or not, but here's my best suggestion for you. Join the 6-week challenge. Have a coach who has been there, done that countless times with their clients, walk you through the process and figure out what is going on. What are we going to do in the short term to address those spikes as you're transitioning? How are you going to use the 6-week meal plan that we have provided to adjust the recipes you're consuming, to adjust the foods that you're consuming in the early part of becoming more insulin sensitive, okay? So we got to dig into the details. We got to move your body. So if you haven't typed in ready, type in ready if you want to get into this 6-week challenge, guys. Okay. Let's see. I've been on this lifestyle for 7 months now. I'm dropping A1C to a 5 from 12.9. Will the 6-week challenge benefit me too? Okay, Renee. First off, congratulations. That's a great drop for you. And I'll tell you what, I think the 6-week challenge would benefit you because there's always an opportunity to take your health to the next level. Okay. I've been doing this for 16 plus years. I'm still doing stuff like this. I'm still happy to be part of a challenge and keep it going and do better and get even more active and get even more optimized in my nutrition. Like there's always a place to improve. Okay. So let's do that. Let's optimize. I mean, I also think that when you come in, it'll be fun for you to also inspire other people. Be like, hey, look what I've accomplished and I'm going to another level. That's a great thing about our program is a lot of people inspire each other. So I think you should come and join. I would do it. I would absolutely do it. Okay. Debbie says she's ready. That's what I like to hear, Debbie. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So any other questions that are coming in? I love answering questions on this show. Now, I got to tell you, Mamey Sapote, I'm actually going to, Lynn. Okay. Anybody else also want to talk about their A1C that they've lowered? Would love to hear that. Let me know if you've lowered your A1C in the chat box. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. So Mamey Sapote is described as a mixture between a soft sweet potato, pumpkin pie, a hint of cinnamon in there, honey, and even a bit of cantaloupe. That is how Mamey is described. So what does it taste like? I just told you what it tastes like. It's incredible. Okay. I've been keto for 2 years and my A1C is 5.8. Why not come down? Why not come down? Okay, Zach, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you have found us because I want to invite you to learn about a different perspective. And that's one of the best things about this 6-week challenge is it's a chance for anybody out there who is, you're just like, I'm just not sure. Like I've heard both sides. I don't know. I'm confused. Get in and work with a coach. Have a personalized coach work with you and address your unique concerns, your questions, and get your questions answered, okay? So in the program, we are going to give you the most optimal meal plan you could possibly have. So we've taken all of our recipes that we put together, and this is a big team effort. We have Stephanie, the main person on our team who's responsible for making the meal plans, like put in countless hours to dig through all the recipes we have ever published in our weekly meal plan, okay? So we published a lot of recipes, hundreds and hundreds of recipes. She went through and we figured out what are the optimal recipes with the optimal ingredients for week 1 and 2, okay? When you're the most insulin resistant. What do we move into for week 3 and 4? And then what do we get to for week 5 and 6? Specific ingredients, specific recipes, all planned out. You get the entire shopping list, the entire plan, all sent to you, okay? It's just yours. And you also get to keep it for life, all right? You can do this reset anytime. So it's a 6-week challenge. We're going to, now look, for this person who's struggling with keto, okay? So you're doing the exact opposite of what we're recommending here at Master Diabetes, okay? If you're doing the keto diet, you're eating large quantities of fat and you're reducing your carbohydrate intake. Okay, we're going to go the other way. We're going to increase your whole carbohydrate intake and we're going to reduce your fat. All right. And so when you've done keto, when you've done low carb, when you're eating a lot of fat, it doesn't happen overnight, right? So like you will see some high readings. If you're eating keto today and then tomorrow you go and eat this Mamey Sapote, let me tell you something. This Mamey Sapote will make you spike like crazy if you're on a low carb, high fat diet. You honestly, like, this is probably one of the worst fruits you could possibly eat. I'm being honest. This is the worst fruits you could possibly eat. Probably within like there's no Mamey Sapote on that meal plan. Let me tell you that. Okay. There are other foods that are optimal for getting you out of a state of insulin resistance. Okay. So you need to know that. You need to understand which foods are going to be the most problematic, how you add in these foods that you want to eat over time, what type of adjustments you make. That's what this plan is about. Okay. So if you're ready, type in ready, and then we will get you details to get into the 6-week challenge. All right. So Laura Ann, from 10.9 to 7, still going. Excellent. That's a good pace right there. 11 months at MD, A1C down from 6. Excellent, over 8. Amazing. Lost over 50 pounds. Have a problem cutting veggies and you adjusted. Excellent. I love that. It's fantastic. It does look like a heart. I like that comment. That's a great comment. It looks like a heart. It does. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else do we got coming in here? What else? Any other questions? But I'm telling you guys, like, this whole confusion around that people with diabetes, they shouldn't eat potatoes. You shouldn't eat these foods. Like, your experience is valid. That's what I want you to know. Okay. Your experience of, maybe you've tried the Master Diabetes method and for whatever reason it didn't work for you. If you didn't do it with a coach, then I'm going to say you didn't give it a full shot yet. So you got to come in and you got to help us walk you through it. There are plenty of nuances here. There are plenty of details that we have to work through. Okay. So your experience is valid. You eating a food that's caused a spike, you're like, wait a minute, this was a Master Diabetes recipe. These guys said this was good for me. And my glucose just went way high. It went sky high. What's going on? We want to help you with that. And we absolutely can. And we guarantee it. Okay. Your results are guaranteed. That's the way we work. 100% guaranteed, because we know it works, because it's just science. All right. Okay. So let's see. Any additional comments? Let me know. We're going to have fun here. Now, let me tell you something about the 6-week challenge. I want to read some fun stuff we've received. Okay. So let me pull that up. We had, this is a recent, let me just read this for you. All right. We had a recent woman say, energy was 4 out of 10. And now it's 8 out of 10. This is just at the 4-week mark. Okay. Fasting blood glucose started at 6.9. So let's do some math here. Let's do some math and see what we got. All right. Okay. Here we go. 6.9 times 18. So the fasting blood glucose started at 124. All right. It has dropped to 103 in just 4 weeks. Okay. While eating more carbohydrate rich foods. Okay. This is insulin sensitivity at work. I can eat more starchy vegetables without much change. I can walk 45 to 55 minutes without chest pain and being short of breath. I love eating all the fruit and the fresh vegetables from my garden. I'm sleeping without waking up for hours in the night. I've lost 10 pounds of weight. It's lovely now it's a lovely new feeling to my life. I'm taking my grandchildren camping in 2 weeks and looking forward to that. Boom. Okay. Like, that stuff, that means so much, because here, like, we can help you, helping you lose weight, lower your A1C, like, all this stuff is fantastic. But the question is, like, why does it even matter? Right? Like, we have so many people who've come to us that are like, I'm thinking of like stories of how, some women have come to us and they wanted to get pregnant. Right. And there's some challenges with their health, and then we help them improve their health, and they get pregnant and they have a baby. It's like, wow, like, that's just incredible. Well, how good does that feel? But like, we're talking about, like this situation, this woman, like, I get on the phone with a lot of people and they're saying, hey, I have grandchildren. I have my children. I want to do things with them. And when you get the health and the energy and the vitality to do this, and you also don't have the fear of the complications, it's pretty powerful. Like this is what really matters. This is what I'm stoked about. So if you want to join this, get in this party, ready in the comments. We're going to get you a link for the 6-week challenge. Okay. How long does it usually take once plant-based to reverse type 2 diabetes? Okay, Kim, let's talk about this. All right. So in order to reverse type 2 diabetes, okay, you're going to have to get your A1C into the non-diabetic range, okay, and not use any diabetes medications and keep it that way for 12 months, okay? At that point, you can say you reversed type 2 diabetes. Now, a lot of people, they might, the skeptics will, oh no, you're just managing it. You're just managing it because it could come back. And to me, the semantics don't matter. Whether you're going to say you reversed it, whether you're going to say it's just managed, it's just in remission, whatever you want to call it, you have chosen to put yourself in a state where you are insulin sensitive. Okay, you've come into our challenge, you did the 6-week challenge, you followed the recipes, you started to become more insulin sensitive, that you maintained it, you kept that insulin sensitivity to a point where your A1C is in the non-diabetic range, your blood glucose control is great, and you don't need diabetes medications to keep your blood glucose low. Okay? That's what we're looking for. Okay? That's what we want to happen. And so you can do that. Now, how long is that going to take? Depends on a lot of factors. How long have you been living with type 2 diabetes? Okay? How much medication are you using right now? How much insulin is your pancreas secreting right now? We can help you figure that out. We can help coach you through that. We can help talk you through the report that you'll get back from your doctor when you get the right blood work, how to interpret that, to understand what does that mean for you, and what are you going to do differently based on your various results. But these are just some of the questions that we're going to have to answer. And then also your level of dedication, your level of commitment, your level of consistency. Accountability is a game changer, and we provide that in the 6-week challenge. Couldn't be more stoked about it. Accountability has been told to us that that's been the #1 game-changing component of people who've been through the challenge already, okay? So if you are ready to say, you know what, like, I want these guaranteed results, I'm willing to basically put it on somebody. I'm gonna basically join a team who's gonna help me rather than trying to do it on your own, then we're here for you, okay? That's what the challenge is about. All right, I have trouble meeting my Bailey. Should I start eating some foods from the yellow list? Okay, so if you're having trouble getting enough calories, I think you should start with this, okay? I think you should start with some Mamey Sapote, okay? You can get this at like an Asian market, and that's where you're likely going to find it. And when you go there, I should tell you guys, you want to do a scratch test, right? So you're going to scratch the skin, and then you want it to be like orange. If it's green when you scratch it, see, these I can't scratch because like they're kind of like too ripe to be scratching. Maybe this one I could scratch. Let's see if I can get a good scratch here. Yeah, you see that I did. It's hard to like see that, but I just did a scratch. That is definitely orange. If that's green, don't buy it. It's not going to ripen. Okay, so you go to your Asian market, and that's where you're going to, any ethnic market, that's where you're going to have your best chance of finding Mamey Sapote. Okay, so it's an incredible fruit. Is the texture of Mamey Sapote anything like avocado? I would say, yeah. I would say the texture is very similar. Very similar. Absolutely. Good question. Good question. So somebody answered that question. I love that. Okay. 3 months working this program, went from 11% A1C to 6.6, down 20 pounds, off the glipizide. Numbers are a little higher because I am off the glipizide. We'll be doing the challenge once I find balance. Okay, let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about this. Okay, so oftentimes people are talking about their A1C, right? And it's not always a complete story. Okay, so this is a perfect example, all right? This person is in the process of reversing insulin resistance and reversing type 2 diabetes. It's going to take time in this case, especially because of the medications. So what we have to understand is the 11% A1C was a medicated A1C. Okay, they were taking, I think it was glipizide. Glipizide, okay? So it's actually higher, right? Without the glipizide, that A1C is going to be higher. So you come into the program, you do our 6-week challenge, all right? You start the beginning process of seeing this process reverse so you understand what you need to do moving forward. It's laying the foundation. It's giving you the insight into actually 100% believing that your body is capable of this. And these results are guaranteed, okay? But in this case, you're going to want some coaching and some guidance of how to communicate with your doctor about reducing your medications, all right? So what we're going to do is, we wrote about this in our book, okay, the New York Times bestselling book right here, all right? What you want to do if you're living with type 2 diabetes and you're trying to reduce meds, we want to see that fasting blood glucose under 100 for 7 days in a row. And then it's time to talk to your doctor and be like, okay, let's take a small reduction in medication, all right? Get your doctor to approve and understand that, all right? Take it one step at a time. And then, just like we experienced in this comment, okay, numbers will go up a little bit. That's okay. That's part of the journey, okay? Now we're going to keep going. We're going to keep, sometimes, releasing more weight, okay? Being more active. The activity part of this 6-week challenge is essential, and it's a game changer. And our exercise videos are so doable. They're at home. They're fun. We don't need any fancy equipment. You can be doing it with beans. Watch how Coach Michelle is going to get you super tired, super sweaty with just a can of beans. It's crazy. All right. So we're going to keep everything going. And then eventually you're going to get to the point again. All right. Now, 7 days in a row, fasting, blood glucose under 100. Okay, doc, it's time to bump it down a little more. All right. Then you go back up, but it's okay. This is part of the journey, done in a smart, intelligent way to get towards the result you're looking for, which is to reverse insulin resistance and not take medications that you don't need. Some medications are necessary, okay? We're not against medications here, all right? We love doctors. I use insulin, all right, as a person living with type 1 diabetes. It's about getting to a point where you're not using excess medication, all right? You want to reduce the unnecessary meds you're using, all right? So I hope that's clear. If you haven't typed in ready in the chat box yet, now's the time to write in ready so you can get involved in our 6-week challenge. Okay. Question, family member. Let me bring the mic over here. I got to get a mic for my shirt, guys. It's coming soon. All right. Question, family member with type 2. They're concerned about carbohydrates. How many carbohydrates do you suggest per meal for post-menopause type 2? To not everyone persist. Okay. Great question. You might want to consider buying the challenge for your family member and doing it with them. Okay, that's huge. Okay, support them, do it with them. All right. So, but you have to type in ready to get a link. Then you get invited to the challenge. Here's the deal. I understand the question. I understand where you're coming from, but unfortunately, it's the wrong question. The question we want to be asking is, how much fat should they be eating per meal? Okay, that's question number 1. We're going to adjust that automatically with the meal plans in the 6-week challenge. Okay, but we have to adjust the fat intake per meal. Then number 2, the second question to ask would be, how many servings of greens and non-starchy vegetables per meal? That would be a very intelligent question. And we cover that in the meal plan. Okay, so we do the thinking for you. All right. Then once you've answered those first 2 questions and you're doing the right thing at every meal, then we can be like, okay, let's talk about the whole carbohydrate that we're getting in your body so you have energy. Okay. And again, we have it taken care of for you, but that's literally the incorrect question to be asking. Address the other ones first, then eat whole carbohydrates until satisfaction and grow and increase that as necessary. Okay. Our coaches will walk you through all this. All right. Okay. Let's see here. If I'm not diabetic or pre-diabetic, does that mean I am insulin sensitive and that's safe to eat all I want of your green light foods? Okay. Good question. So, number 1, for most people, let's say if you're non-diabetic, for most people, eating an abundance of the green light foods would be totally fine. It's for the people who want to join our challenge, who are right now currently struggling with blood glucose challenges, with a high A1C, who want some guaranteed results and want some guidance on which foods in the green light list to focus on and how to incorporate some of the ones that have more glucose. Certain foods have more glucose than others. Okay. Fructose is actually metabolized without insulin. Okay. So certain fruits are going to behave differently. This Mamey Sapote happens to actually be very, very high in glucose and have less fructose than compared to like a mango or something. It's a very big deal, and it absolutely impacts your blood glucose. So we can help you through that. But here's the deal. It's possible, it's actually likely, statistically likely, I wouldn't say for you, but for most people, all right, you could fall into the statistics, that you might have a great A1C. You might be non-diabetic. Your fasting blood glucose might be fine, but you don't really know how much insulin your pancreas is producing to maintain that. You could be producing an excess amount of insulin, which is the stage before prediabetes. So we have over 100 million people in the US alone who are living with either prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Then there's a whole nother group that are living with insulin resistance and are on their way to prediabetes. Okay? So keep your fat intake low to maximize your insulin sensitivity. All right? How many meals do you suggest someone to eat in a day? Okay. So some people, first off, I eat 4 different meals a day. I eat a breakfast, a lunch, a pre-dinner, and a dinner. That's how I get in the calories I need. So some people like to do intermittent fasting, which is something we will coach you through. All right. And that might bring you down to 2 meals. Some people are like, no, I need all 3. That's the way I want to go. That's through the personalized coaching process that we do in the 6-week challenge. Okay. So I hope that helps answer your question. I would say, 2 to 4, 2 to 5, depending on your activity level. All right. Is there such a thing as too ripe for Mamey? The answer is yes. Yes, you can definitely have Mamey that's too ripe. No question. Okay. Write the word ready. Yes, write the word ready if you want to receive more information about our 6-week, brand new, it's called the Mastering Diabetes 6-week Blood Sugar Transformation Challenge. It's about helping you get on this path to overcome the obstacles that you've run into, and our results are guaranteed. So can't wait to have you do that. All right, let's see. Hi there. I wonder how to gain weight a little bit, around 5 kilograms with a plant-based diet. Since I make a switch into plant-based diet, I am losing my weight. Okay, Dennis, could be a lot of things going on here. Let me know if you're living with any particular type of diabetes. Let me know in the chat box. You want to get an excess of about 500 calories per day over the course of a week, and that can help you put on roughly a pound a week. Okay, that's what we want to have happen for you. And there's a lot of strategies. I will tell you something. Mamey Sapote would be a perfect fruit for you. Perfect fruit if you can get your hands on some. Perfect fruit. Okay, you got this. And you can absolutely join the challenge to gain weight. Absolutely love helping people gain weight because they get to eat. They get to eat and just eat and enjoy it. So that's fun. Super fun. Okay. Dennis, type 2. Okay, Dennis. Tell me this in the chat box. Have you had your C-peptide tested? Because when somebody is saying they're underweight and living with type 2 diabetes, it's a potential red flag that it could be a misdiagnosis, and you would want to get more blood tests to understand the reality of your situation and work with a qualified medical professional to make sure that you're being taken care of properly. Okay. So C-peptide, again, it's another test we highly recommend. We can help you work through that in our program. So no question about it. No question about it. Definitely don't want to gain weight. Need to continue losing. Okay, Tammy, let's do this. Let's do this. You got it. You're in the right place. You're in the right place. Okay. So any other comments? We're going to go for just a few more minutes, and then I got to get back to work. And I will actually, this Mamey is so perfect. I'm definitely going to have some. No question. No question. So I have to plan properly. So let me go to my chronometer here. Let me just show you. Let's go here. Just for fun, the Mamey Sapote. So here's how I'm going to deal with this as a person living with type 1 diabetes. I'm going to turn my scale on. Okay. Dennis, I see you said I've not yet done a C-peptide. You got to do a C-peptide. Absolutely. Must do. It's data you're going to need. Okay. You just want to rule out anything that's possible here. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Just get the data. Okay. Here we go. Mamey Sapote. Here we go. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it on the scale. All right. And that's going to say 300. I'm going to remove this seed. We don't need the seed. And this one's going to, I mean, Mamey Sapote is so calorie dense. I don't even know if I'm going to eat all that. That's 608. So I'm not going to eat the skin, right? So let me get the chronometer here. If I can get this in on my screen. Let's see if I can get you guys this. So you just eat Mamey Sapote like an avocado. Are there any recipes? There are recipes, but honestly, remember this is Simple Meals. That's the name of this show. And we keep it absurdly simple, and I think just eating the Mamey is totally good enough. All right. Let's see if I can get this. You can see the number there. Okay. 608. Now, if I go to, there we go. So I'm just going to say this is a lunch. Click the plus, add food, type in Mamey. Mamey Sapote. So 608. All right. Now, I could guesstimate also, like maybe the skin, you could just guess what you think the skin's going to be. I just end up entering the whole thing, and then maybe I'll end up having like a little bit of a snack or something to compensate for the skin that I'm not going to be eating. You know what I mean? I'm not going to actually eat exactly 195, but what I will do is I will plan for 195, right? So I'll add the food. I will now inject the appropriate amount of insulin. So 195, if we do 195 divided by, let's do 34. So that's let's do 6. So 195 divided by 6. My ratio is going to be, call it 33. All right. So if I take 6 units for this, and then after I eat it, I will go and measure the scraps. And let's say the scraps ended up being 58. So then the actual number ended up being 550. I'd be like, oh, wow, I dosed for 195, but I ate 176. Now I should eat just a little more food, right? And we'll see where my number's at that point, right? You can make an adjustment, but that's how you can plan for this and be somewhere in the ballpark of understanding how many grams of carbohydrate did I eat and what do I need to dose for that meal. Okay, I hope that makes sense. This has been a fun show, guys. Really glad to have you with me. Have you found that the order of foods eaten in any day makes a difference in blood sugar and or weight loss? That is a good question. And it's going to really matter more about what you're eating at each meal and like your total calories, the foods you're eating, the pace at which you're eating them, the greens and non-starchy vegetables that are being, like there's bigger things to address than like the necessarily the time of day you're eating certain foods. Like what foods are you eating is going to be far more important. And we've seen this over and over again. So we can help you with that. Now, how do you absorb fat soluble vitamins? So there's a whole section in this book, an entire section with a lot of research. So I highly recommend you read that. I'm not going to go into it here, but there's a whole section that's got the title about fat soluble vitamins in here. And the answer is first off, our diet is, it's going to be, most people are going to consume a little more than 10 grams of fat per day. But the amount you need is far less than most people think they need. And you absolutely, you can look into science. There's no issue with absorbing fat-soluble vitamins on a low-fat plant-based whole food diet. And sometimes, even if there was something that had to be absorbed later, there's research suggesting how when the fat is added in at a later time, it'll get absorbed. So it's all in the book. Check it out. Okay, so people are typing ready. Let me just say this one more time before we go. 6-week challenge. We have launched a 6-week challenge. We are so stoked to get you in it. Guaranteed results, okay? So you want to lower your A1C, you want to lose weight, you want to increase your time in range, you want to gain weight, we can guarantee you that as well if you want it. We'll show you how to do it, okay? If you want more energy, all right? You want to clear your skin, all right? You want to just have more fun. You want to enjoy your food. You want to have more confidence and predictability in what's going to happen to your blood glucose when you eat. We're here for all that. We're going to show you how to do it. Results are guaranteed in our 6-week challenge. We're going to provide you with meal plans. We're going to provide you with workouts. We're going to provide you with a personalized coach. We're going to provide you with a heck of a lot of accountability to see this through, okay? Type in ready if you want to join the challenge. And I'm going to ask you one more question before we go, okay? Type in the letter K. Type in the letter K. If you know what you need to be doing, but you're not doing it as well as you want to or know you should. Okay, like K. Write in the letter K, meaning you know, but you're not doing it. Okay? Write the letter K, and then as you're writing it, know that that's the purpose of accountability. You're going to step it up. You're going to step it up when you are looking your coach in the eye on your Zoom call with your group, and you're saying, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. The likelihood of you showing up next week and actually saying, I did it, is going to go up dramatically. Your results are guaranteed. The program's incredible. I want to see how many people are writing K. Andy, Kim, Mark. Okay, everybody who wrote K should also be writing ready. Another comment writing ready. Okay? So this is a human thing, and it's okay. But like, you know to do, you know you want the result, you need some accountability, you need some support, you might need a little bit of coaching. Join the 6-week challenge, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. It's been a really fun show. I'm super glad to announce that this Mamey was absolutely perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect. Super, super happy about it. You don't always know with Mamey. If you open it up and it's not as orange as this, it's okay, you can still have it. But the scratch test that I showed you earlier is going to help you get the right Mamey. All right. So there we go. Great show, guys. Good to see you. We're going to be bringing in some coaches on some future episodes so you can meet them. Can't wait for that. But again, write ready in the chat box if you're ready. And I will see you next Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Have a great day.